Welcome to the next video of our AI QA engineering path to AI QA engineering mini series that we have been discussing about in our YouTube series as well as in the YouTube live series. And in this video, we're going to talk especially about the same idea of what we're talking about in the last video, which is the LLM evaluation. So we talked about the basics of large language model evaluation in our last video. And in this video, we're going to talk about how we can do the human graded evaluation. If you remember, or if you have not really watched our earlier video, so please go ahead and watch there. I highly suggest you to do that, because that is one of the video where we talked about what is LLM evaluation, why do we need to do LLM evaluation, and what are the types of evaluation that we can do. And we also saw what are the different kinds of evaluation at very high level. But in this video, we're going to talk about one of the type of evaluation that we discussed in our last video, which is the human-based evaluation. So human graded evaluation or human-based evaluation is one of the most important concepts that we discussed in our last video, where we told that when it comes to the task that needs a bit of human touch or a subjective opinions, human graded evaluation is still the best way to go with. This means having people, usually experts in this field, looking at the model's results, checks if they are good, and give them a score will be very highly a good thing that they do in the human graded evaluation. And that is exactly what we are going to see as a demo in this particular video. So we'll see how we can make sure that the human-based evaluation can be achieved for one of the large language model that we always use. And I'm not really going to talk about some of the custom-based large language model that is being built for my company or anything like that. I'm going to be using one of the general purpose model, which is already used by millions and trillions of people every single day. That's what we are going to be using this time. And we'll slowly go from there to see how we can actually make use of the custom large language model evaluations and things. But at least for this video, because we're just getting started, it is highly recommended that we use something which is already accessible for everyone. And that's the reason why I'm going to use this approach in this particular video. That's it said, let's jump into the demonstration phase of it. All right. So now in order to do the human evaluation, I'm going to make use of one of the prominent website that you use all the time, which is nothing but the Anthropic.com. So I'm going to go with the Anthropic, and they have got something called as WorkBench. Even OpenAI has got the WorkBench, so you can use any one of the tools that you wanted. But I'm just going to show in the demonstration using the Anthropic, which is very straightforward to use it. So if you just go to the API over here, you just hover through the API, you can see that they have something called as the console login. So just go and hit this console login over there. And if you have already signed up, you will just taking directly into the particular page. If not, it's going to ask you to do a sign up, and then you will be taking you to the console login. So I have already signed up and I have already logged in before. That's the reason why it's showing me the consoles right away and it says good afternoon Karthik over there, right? And now I'm going to do the prompt evaluation or the evaluation of the large language model itself. So in order to do that, I'm going to go and write a prompt from the complete ground up. And I have already tried this before, so I will show you everything from the scratch this time. They also have got a preview feature for the tooling supports. I will also show you that in a minute, but I'll just show you how you can make use of this workbench to do the evaluation of your large language model. Well, you can see that there is this menu over here. It shows the Claude 3.7 Sonnet over here. They also have got some variables. They also have got some tools, and they also got some examples. If you input that, it will automatically show you the examples that you can customize your prompt from there. So if I'm going to go choose this particular models, the Claude 3.7 Sonnet, this is the latest and the greatest model today while I'm recording this particular video. But you can also choose some other models like Claude 3.5, Haiku, Opus, and the old model that they have offering. And you can also change the temperature if you wanted to, and you can also set the maximum token for your evaluation that you're trying to do. And also you can set the thinking, and then you can set the budget token if you wanted to. So if you're going to use any of the reasoning model, you can also turn it on, and then you can start working with. So Claude 3.7 Sonnet is a reasoning model, so you can set the thinking if you really wanted to. So I'm just going to leave all of these basic information there as it is. I'm not going to do anything over there. And then I'm going to not enter any of the system prompt at the moment, but I'm going to create a user prompt. And this is where we're going to do the prompt evaluation this time. So I'll show you how we can actually achieve that. So over here, I'm just going to put this particular prompt. So I'm going to say that you are a skilled QA engineer, especially in automation testing. Your job is to convert a Selenium test code to Playwright for any given language like C#, Java, TypeScript, and JavaScript. Even if you see any other unsupported language of Playwright, try to suggest and give them a comment saying the Playwright does not support these language binding yet. So here is the source code to translate. So this is the code that I'm going to enter, and you see that I have just used the 2 double braces there, and I'm also closing it with the source code. So this is especially like an input variable. So you see that there is a pencil symbol there. So if you just go and hit that, it's going to open you a test case. So this is the place that you're going to enter the test case. And then I'm also telling that the source code is written in the following language. And I'm also asking the language of the source code, in which language that this particular code is written. So this is like an extra parameter that I'm asking in. And I wanted to convert this to translate this code to a Playwright code, but I'm not really telling any language as such. Like if I want to specify any of the language, then I can also do that, but that's going to be in a version 2 of our prompt. So for now, let's just leave that as it is over here, right? So now I need to enter some source code to convert it to the Playwright code. So I'm going to enter a Selenium code. I wanted this code to be converted to the Playwright code for me. So let's see how we can write a simple Selenium code. So for doing that, I'm going to go to the GitHub over here and go to Executeautomation repository. And there are so many code that I have already talked in our YouTube videos and also in Udemy courses. This is one of the Selenium code which I talked just like last year in 2024. So I'm going to go grab some tests from there. So in the getting started, we have got a simple Selenium test. So what I'm going to do is I'm probably going to copy this entire code, something like this. And I'm going to go to the Claude in the workbench. I'm going to paste this code. So this is the source code that I'm pasting in. And the language, I'm just going to enter as Java. So this is the language, right? And now I'm going to do a run over here. So this is the place where I'm going to expect the large language model to give me any output. So the moment I run this, as you expect, you see that it is going to start writing the code for me. So you're going to go hit this preview, not the API, just hit this preview. It's going to show you what is being printed. See that for your code, it is writing a Playwright code. Look at this, such an amazing thing that you can do over here these days. Earlier, I remember while I was learning the programming language, there used to be some tools in online where you can copy some Java code and paste it, and it will convert to a C# code. But if there is a library that exists, those code will not be always correct. But this time, you can also convert a Selenium code to a Playwright code. Look at that. Such an amazing thing happening at the moment. It's really a great time to be living at the moment, really. And you can see that we have got this Playwright code, which is quite amazing. So it has shown a lot of detail. So it is showing that the Playwright is being invoked. It's launching the browser, which is the Chrome driver equivalent. See that? It's also, there is a comment there. And also saying there is a browser context similar to the browser session. And then there is this page being invoked. So it's also telling a lot of details like how this can be done, which is amazing. And note that about the conversation. So these are things that is being done. And this is the library that you have to add in. It looks pretty good to me. I mean, this is a good code response which has been generated, which I feel like this is correct. And now if I go, see that there is an option called as evaluate. So this is yet another tool which is built in the workbench where you can have multiple test cases for this prompt, which is amazing. So if you just go hit this evaluation, look at that. So this is the first source code that you have put in. And this is the source language is in Java. And this is the model output. And this is in version 1, as we can see over here. So which means this is the first version that you are working with. And if you feel like this is pretty good, you can now change the rating or maybe choose a rating. Then you can say that it is already pretty good. I mean, if you feel like this is very good, you can do that. And now you can also hit this show prompt where it's also going to show you the prompt. If you wanted to see like what the prompt that you have entered for this particular operation to happen, you can also see that, right? I'm just going to hide it for the time being. And now we need to do a bit more evaluation. So I'm going to say you are a expert QA engineer, especially in automation testing and automation architect works, and you also provide automation test solutions. So I'm just going to give a lot more things this time. So he's pretty much like a very, very senior expert person. That is what is the role of this guy over here. I'm putting all these details over here. I'm also going to say that please translate this code to playwright code. I'm not going to change anything apart from that. You can hit this improve prompt. This will actually use Claude to optimize our prompt. I'm just not going to use that because it's going to be overkilling. So I'm just going to do that over here. And I'm also telling that please translate this code in the playwright code. Do not add, do not include a lot of texts apart from code block. Yeah, so that this clutter that we have will not be there. So this is the prompt that I'm trying to know. So this is how you learn the prompting as well while you do the evaluation, and also reduce the number of output tokens. See that the output token we have got is 643 this time. And while I add these details over here, hopefully the output token reduces because the text has reduced. And see that there is only the code this time. There is also not a lot of comments this time. And the output token has reduced from 600 plus to just 300 plus. So the token has been optimized this time, which is quite amazing. So you see that the code is now doing pretty much exactly the same thing that we asked him to do it. And now if you go to the evaluate over here, you see that now we have version 2, which is amazing. So we have the same code which we have in the version 2 as well. And for this prompt, guess what? We also have got a generate test case option in the same evaluate. If you hit this generate test case, this is something the AI is going to write for you. So it's going to input some text for that particular, like some code for your prompt. And then it is going to see that it is writing a Python code this time. And now the source language is going to be Python. So now you can also evaluate what if the same kind of code written in Python, if you try to inject, what is going to happen. So if you go and see this execution, you can also create this bunch of test cases. So this is the programming code. That's the reason why you have like very few of them. But if you have a text-based questions, then you might have multiple different test cases for that matter. But see that this is already pretty good. You can keep on adding multiple different languages like Java, Python, and if you want like C#.NET or any other language, you can also enter that those details, and you can keep on improving your test case from there on. It looks like this is still same the Python code. It is trying to add it for us over here, and now it's going to generate the code. But yeah, it's already working. But now there is also an add comparison option that we have not discussed, where you can now compare based on your versions. Look at that. So you can choose the version, like from version 2 and version 3. It also shows you the total grade. Like you have given like 4 as the human grade evaluation, like 4 as the rating. It's like very good. That's the reason why it shows 4. So this is the 4 and this is the 2. So now if you think that this code is also quite good, then you can give it as like excellent. So this grade becomes 5, as you can see, and this is like a 4. So you're doing a bit of an improvement from your existing version of your evaluation. And now you can run the remaining. What happens this time is this is going to run for these 2 different prompts for you, and it will generate the output based on that particular prompt. Look at that. This is amazing. So you are just essentially what you're doing is this time you are going to be running for 2 different of your prompts, and then the execution happens for all the 3 test cases this time. This is amazing because now we can keep on adding multiple different test cases over here. So this is how we can keep on doing the grading like a human grade, and also we can do the evaluation of our large language model. And now going back to the prompt once again over here, as I told you, you can also use the use this tools option. This is currently in preview. I mean, you can use it, but this is going to add even more feature to your test case. Like this same test case that you are seeing over here can be improved even further, because now we have the ability to do web search and other tooling features, which is just released a couple of days before. So if you just go and use custom tools, you can create your own custom tools. You can also generate some tools, or I don't know if there is no support for MCP server tool yet, but maybe they will be adding pretty soon. But if you go to the web search tool, which is something I wanted to show you, is this one. You see that this web search tool will now ask you an option whether do you want to restrict certain domains, like blocking domains, or you want to allow only specific domains, or you want to not allow anything, but you just gonna give like an entire world access to this guy. And I'm gonna say yes, and I'm gonna hit add. So this is going to be a tool being added this time for our execution this time, which is for our this prompt this time. So now if I try to run the same exact code this time, and if I hit run, what is essentially going to happen is it is going to go and build this entire thing. But look at that this time. This is also generating a page object model code for us, guys. This was not even happening before, but now it is writing a page object model code for the home page, login page. So it is not just converting the code, but it's also going a level further to write a page object model code, like how the page object model code will look like. See, for the home page, we have got for the login page, we also got for the employee list page, and this is how you're going to create this entire thing, like this method. Wow, this is quite amazing, guys. So this is how I was writing the code before in my actual source code. It is almost close to that. So if I just go to the pages and if I show you the employee list page, look at that. This is exactly the same kind of code that they have written. The AI has written things for me. I mean, there is no locators yet, but because this is like the playwright, so locators are already in here, not like Selenium where you put like page object model or define the elements. This is already amazing. So this is already doing things for me. I see the number of tokens has been just increased to 856 this time, which is fine. But yeah, this is quite amazing. So this shows the point that this is already working for us, and it is doing as pretty much as expected, and things are just working as expected for us. So this is how you can use this evaluation and do things using the toolings options and things of that nature. And evaluation is, again, you can keep on improving the evaluation from here on, and you can also add more message pairs with the assistants, and you can improve, like you can say like, okay, this is the response is going to come out from this particular output, and then you ask the assistant, and then you can again ask one more question as a user. So you can also do a chain of thoughts from there on and keep moving from there, which I'm not really going to show this time in this particular video. But yeah, this is how you can do evaluations and you can keep improving from there on. So this is the power of doing the evaluation using Workbench, and this is exactly how Claude team does the evaluation, and they also suggest to do the evaluation of a large language models. So using these options, we can see that how we can keep on improving the response from our current prompt and then keep on evaluation from there on. That's it, guys. This is about the evaluation or the human graded evaluation of our large language model. I will talk to you about the code-based evaluation in our next lecture of this particular series, but hope you already got the idea of how these things are done, which is amazing. Thank you so much.